My name is Daniel, and this is the story of how one small decision changed the entire direction of my life. I grew up in a quiet town near Manchester, where life was simple, calm, and predictable. My father worked as a mechanic, and my mother was a school teacher. From an early age, I was taught two important lessons: work hard and never stop learning. But like many young people, I wanted something more. I wanted adventure, new experiences, and a chance to prove to myself that I could survive outside the safe walls of my hometown. So, after finishing university, I decided to take a gap year and travel abroad. I didn't have much money, but I had determination and curiosity. One night, while searching online, I came across a volunteering program in Nepal. The program offered food and a place to stay in exchange for teaching English to children in a small mountain village. Something inside me whispered, "This is it. This is your chance." The first step. Arrival in Nepal. I still remember the first moment I landed in Kathmandu. The air was thick with dust, the streets were crowded with people, bicycles, and rickshaws. It was chaos, but a beautiful kind of chaos. I felt nervous yet excited. From Kathmandu, it took another 8 hours by bus to reach the village where I would be living. The road was narrow, full of bumps and sharp turns. Sometimes I thought the bus might fall off the edge of the cliff. But when we finally arrived, I was amazed. The village was surrounded by green hills, with snow-covered mountains visible in the distance. The children welcomed me with bright smiles, some shy and others curious. They had very little. No modern classrooms, no computers, sometimes not even enough books, but they had a hunger to learn. That was the moment I realized why I had come. The challenge. Teaching without resources. Teaching English there was not easy. In my university, we had all the technology we needed. But here, I had only a chalkboard, a few notebooks, and my own creativity. At first, I felt frustrated. How could I make lessons interesting without resources? One day, I asked the children to bring something from their homes that they used every day. They came with baskets, farming tools, fruits, and even small handmade toys. Using these items, I taught them words in English: basket, fruit, toy, tool. Suddenly, the classroom came alive. The children laughed, repeated the words, and started making sentences. I realized then that true teaching does not depend on technology, but on connection. The turning point. A festival of light. After 2 months, the village prepared for a special festival called Tihar, the Festival of Lights. The entire village was decorated with candles and colorful flowers. Children sang songs, families cooked together, and everyone shared food. That evening, as I sat with my students, one of the boys, whose name was Arjun, came to me and said, "Teacher, today I can speak English." He then introduced himself, talked about his family, and even described the festival, all in English. I was shocked and deeply moved. Just a few weeks earlier, he could barely say, "My name is Arjun." Now, he was speaking full sentences with confidence. Tears filled my eyes. At that moment, I understood the true power of language. It can open doors, build bridges, and change lives. The unexpected event. Earthquake. But life is never only celebration. 2 weeks after the festival, a strong earthquake hit the region. The ground shook violently, houses collapsed, and people screamed in fear. I had never experienced anything so terrifying. Luckily, most of the villagers survived, but many lost their homes. The school building was badly damaged. Classes had to be moved outdoors, under temporary tents. Instead of leaving, I decided to stay and help. I worked with the villagers to rebuild classrooms, carry wood, and provide food. During those days, I learned the true meaning of community. Everyone, young and old, worked side by side, supporting each other. Even in those difficult times, the children continued to learn. Sometimes, we studied under the open sky, with birds flying above and mountains watching over us. Those lessons, though simple, were the most powerful I had ever taught. The final days. Lessons for life. After 6 months, my time in Nepal came to an end. Saying goodbye was one of the hardest things I had ever done. The children gathered around me, singing songs they had learned in English. They gave me handmade drawings as gifts. Arjun, the boy who once struggled to say his name, now said to me in English, "Teacher, thank you. Because of you, I want to be a teacher too." His words broke me. I realized that while I came to teach English, I had also learned lessons that no book could ever teach: gratitude, resilience, and the importance of human connection. The end. A new beginning. When I returned to my hometown, everything looked the same: my house, the streets, even the small cafe where I used to sit. But inside me, everything had changed. I was not the same Daniel who had left 6 months earlier. Now, whenever I face challenges, I remember those children studying under broken tents, smiling, and repeating new English words with determination. I remember the festival lights, the laughter, the earthquake, and the strength of the community. That experience taught me that real education is not about grammar rules or textbooks alone, it is about giving hope, inspiring confidence, and building bridges between people. And so, my story ends where it began, with a simple decision to step outside my comfort zone. But truly, it does not end here. Because every time I share this story, I hope it inspires someone else to take their own journey, to learn, to teach, and to grow.